If you're just getting into making songs, or you've been into making music for a little while now, but you still feel like the structure or the overall creation process of your song could be better, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you a very simple but effective way to structure a very interesting and professional song. Before we get into the video, if you're looking for other ways to take your music to the next level, you should go check out my website where I have 3 available vocal presets that will help you take your vocals and your overall music to the next level. One of them being the Caleb James lead vocal preset that is completely free to download. So yeah, if you're into stuff like that, then go check that out. I'll put it as the first link in the description. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this tutorial. Okay, so before we start actually structuring the song, it is very important to know the difference between the sections of a song. So there's 4 main sections that I'm going to be talking about within this video: the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, and the bridge. So let's first talk about the verse. I would say the verse is the part of the song that isn't necessarily the most memorable part, but it's kind of where the story of the song unfolds, and it either can have a repetitive or a non-repetitive melody. In most of my songs, if I have more than one verse, I like the verses to have a non-repetitive melody, but you see a lot of modern pop songs today have repetitive melodies, and it sounds really good. It just comes down to preference and what you want your music to sound like. But for me personally, I like my verses to sound a little bit different from each other. So yeah, that's kind of the verse. It's kind of where the story of the song unfolds, and it doesn't necessarily have to be repetitive melody. It can be whatever you want it to be. Next would be the pre-chorus, and this is the part of the song that kind of prepares you for the chorus. So sometimes I like to bring a little bit of tension into my pre-chorus and show that there is going to be something after it. So building up, a little bit of that tension and anticipation is good in this part. So yeah, you just want it to be a little bit of a build up towards the chorus. And usually the pre-chorus is repetitive, so it'll play more than once if there is more than one chorus. Okay, so the next section that I'm going to be talking about is the chorus or hook, and this is the section of the song that is going to be the most memorable and probably the most catchy. The chorus or hook is the part of the song that gets repeated in the part that you really remember in the song. This is the part of the song that I really focus the most on and that I put the most work into, because I really want people to come back to my song because of the hook or the chorus. And that's exactly why I call it the hook, is because it hooks people in and it makes them want to keep listening to it over and over again. So this is a part that I would recommend taking a lot of time on and really putting a lot of thought into the melody and how it could be catchy. Now that said, I'm not saying you shouldn't put work into the other parts of the song. I think you should put work and thought into all of the song. I'm just saying that to me personally, this is the most important part of the song. And then the last section that I'm going to be talking about is the bridge, which is a completely unique part of the song. Now this part is usually never repeated. It only happens once in a song, and it's kind of like a part of the song where the melody switches up a lot and the feel of the song almost switches up a lot too. So it really can create a lot of dynamics in the song, and it also helps set up the last chorus of the song usually. So even though it's usually before the chorus, that doesn't make it a pre-chorus, because it's not repeating the same feel and melodies as the other pre-choruses. It's just completely changing up the feel of the song, and that's why it's called the bridge. Okay, so now that we understand the basic sections of a song, we can now get into how to actually structure your song. Okay, so there are many ways that you can structure a song, and there's not one set in stone way to do it, but I'm just going to show you a very easy but effective way to structure your song. So I'm just going to use this example right here. This is a bit of an older song that I made, but we're just going to run through it and I'll show you the different sections of the songs and how I structured them. So the first 16 bars here are just purely intro, and this is just the beat right here. So it just sounds like this. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is just the intro. And then it goes into a little bit more of intro after the first 8 bars. Just adding some more instruments and some vocal chops, as you can see in the back there. And then it has a little bit of rise right before the next section.
Are you serious?
As you can hear, it just rises up into the next section, which is going to be the first chorus. Now, like I said before, it doesn't really matter what section you start on. Usually it's like a verse or a chorus, but like I said, I really like when my choruses stand out and hook people in. So I usually put that as the first section of my song right here. So that's what this is going to be. This is the hook.
Are you serious?
I wanna get in your head. I'm waiting here, I'm not scared. Long as you're right me, tear me apart, yeah, tear me apart, yeah. I've given up 100 times, yeah. You're a million out of one, I know I can. It's all because I know the truth, yeah. Mess me up and tear me up again.
So So as you can see, that is the chorus or hook right there. And as you can see, I chose kind of a catchy and interesting melody for the hook, as I wanted to hook people in and really keep them listening. And I found that even in my own music listening experience, when I'm listening to a song that I really like, it's usually because of the hook. And every time I'm listening to it, I'm always looking forward to that part of the song. So I like putting the hook first, just because I want it to be the first thing that they hear, so they're hooked in for the rest of the song. That said, you don't have to put the chorus first. You can put a verse first or something else, but this is just the way that I like to do it. After the chorus section right here, we go into the verse. So like I said, this is the part of the song where the story kind of unfolds, and it is a little bit more lyrical, not necessarily focused as much on the catchy melodies, because I don't want to take away from the hook, but also keeping a good little melody and groove in here so it keeps people interested as well. So here's the verse.
Again, tell me I'm on your mind. It's okay, hit me when you got time. I do this all knowing that you will mess me up and tear me up again, but it's all up in my brain. I can't even lie though, I know I'm not right though. It feel like it's time though, you already know it's true.
So yeah, that's the whole verse right there. That is the same length as the chorus, so that'd be 16 bars right there. And yeah, as you can see, the melody isn't as crazy and interesting, but still it has a nice feel to it. And as you can hear in the melodies, there's less repetitive melodies and more focus on the lyrics. And as you can hear, the whole feel of the verse really calms down, not only because of the vocals, but also a big contributor to this is also the music. As you can hear, it goes from the chorus, which is very hype and loud, and then it starts to calm down once you get to the verse. See, as you can hear, there's an obvious distinction between those two parts of the song. And so with the vocals, I like to match that vibe.
Tear me up again. Tell me I'm on your mind.
As you can hear, it calms down a lot, and there's an obvious distinction between the chorus section and the verse section. Okay, so now after the end of the verse, we go right into the pre-chorus. So we're setting the listeners up and reminding them that the chorus is coming again, and I'm kind of building a lot of tension. So this is the pre-chorus.
Play it off like I'm the same, but I can't get you out my brain. I told you many times that
So yeah, you can hear me kind of building up that tension with switching the melody and making it a little bit faster than the verse. And I'm also bringing in some new melodies that I haven't used in the verse or the chorus. So again, you can hear a really big distinction between the different sections of the song right here. And it's obvious that it's switching from verse to pre-chorus right here. And it's just setting the listener up for the chorus again. So here's the transition between the pre-chorus and the chorus.
Yeah, but I wanna get in your head. I'm waiting here, I'm not scared.
So as you can hear right there, it just goes seamlessly from the pre-chorus to the chorus. And that goes into my next tip for you when structuring your songs, is you want to make sure that the listener can really differentiate the different sections of the song so that the whole song doesn't sound like one continuous section. But also you want to make the transitions between the sections clean as well, so that it feels nice and easy going from one part of the song to the next, just like this.
But
and this really comes down to making a good last impression of a section of a song. So ending on the bass note of the key, like I did in the chorus right here, is a good way to end a section.
mess me up and tear me up again.
So as you heard right there, I ended on the bass note of the key, or using some sort of melodic ending phrase for a section, like right here in the end of the verse. And I also use it in the end of the pre-chorus. But yeah, listen right here. So right here, that creates a good transition between the verse and the pre-chorus. And I use it again between the pre-chorus and the chorus.
Yeah, but I wanna get in your head.
So yeah, creating those transitions is pretty important. So yeah, after the pre-chorus right here, we just go right back into the chorus.
I wanna get in your head.
And then after the chorus, we go into the bridge. Now, sometimes songs will have more than one verse, but in this song, I made it a little bit shorter. So after the second chorus, we go straight into the bridge. But again, you don't have to do it exactly like this. If you want more than one verse, then go right ahead. So yeah, after the second chorus, we go right into the bridge, which sounds like this.
Tear me up again. I can't lie, I'm scared. Cause I can't tell you're unaware. I can't tell you that I'm thinking, whoa.
So So yeah, as you can hear, the vibe of the song completely changes right there, and it just feels way different than any other part of the song. And that is exactly what a bridge does. It really kind of takes you out of the vibe of the song in a good way, and then puts you right back in once it hits the chorus. So I think coming up with a very creative bridge as well is also a very good way to catch your listener's ear. And I think if done right, the bridge can be the best part of the song. So again, I use another melodic phrase at the end of the bridge right here. It is different from the one that I used at the end of the verse in the pre-chorus, but again, I'm using it to just transition between the two sections of the song.
That I'm thinking, whoa,
And then we go right back into the chorus. But this final chorus is going to be a little bit different than the other choruses, and sometimes I think this can be a very cool addition to add, is switching up the final chorus of your song. So as you can hear, the first part is exactly the same as the other choruses, but as you'll hear, once we get into the second 8 bars of the chorus, it'll change up. So listen right here.
I wanna get in your head. I'm waiting here, I'm not scared. Long as you're right by me, tear me apart, yeah, tear me apart, yeah. I can't lie, I'm scared. I can tell you that I'm thinking, whoa, of you, but it's okay.
So as you hear right there, I used some of the parts from the bridge in that chorus, and at the end I added something completely new right here. So yeah, that part was completely new, but right here in the middle, I used this part from the bridge. As you can hear. So yeah, the last chorus I just got pretty creative on and just added things that I thought sounded good, and I thought it could make the song pretty interesting right there. And you don't have to do this. Usually it's just okay leaving the chorus exactly how it is, but in this specific song I just chose to make the last chorus a little bit different, so that if people really like that part, then they'll want to listen to the whole song through every single time. So yeah, that's my take on structuring songs. Obviously I don't want this video to put you in a box to make you feel like you have to do it exactly this way. This is just giving you some guidelines and tips on how you can start structuring your songs, and from there you can use your own creative process to make your own song structures and own ideas. Again, if you're into taking your songs and music to the next level, then you should check out my website where I have 3 available vocal presets. 1 is completely free, and yeah, I really think it could help you on your way to becoming a great artist. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I've given up 100 times, yeah. You're a million out of 1, I know I can. It's all because I know the truth, yeah. Mess me up and tear me